Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to install my boost and wideband gauge. Should be pretty quick and easy setup, so let's get into it. So we are installing the Innovate Motorsports PSB-1 Power Safe Boost and Wideband gauge. I picked this up from Rally Sport Direct. One of my friends recommended it to me, and I really like the features that it has, where it's an all-in-one gauge for boost and wideband, and also has that fail-safe feature. I didn't want to do a bunch of gauges on the pillar or in the HVAC place where most people do. So we've got just a single pod by Autometer. We've got our gauge, we've got our data cable, we've got our wideband sensor and wiring harness. It also came with a bung, but with the STM test pipe that we got, we're not going to be needing that. We've got the map sensor and hoses needed to hook that up, and we've got our fail-safe relay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with getting the boost gauge in with power and ground and make sure that that's going to work properly, and then we'll go ahead and set up the map sensor and the wideband. So this is the gauge here. It also actually has a shift light feature, which we may hook up in a later time. Comes with a silver face bezel there and a white face gauge if you wanted to change that up. I like the way this looks already, so we're just going to go ahead and get that mounted into the pod. Pretty simple to mount in there. You just use a supplied bracket and the nut screws there and slap that in. Okay, so next we've got the interior torn apart here. We've got the steering column removed and the plastics down here removed. To make this simple, I'm just gonna rig it up like this so you guys can see how I have everything wired up. So we've got our ground wire leading to a location in the car. Probably see it all the way back there. That's a ground. And then for power, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're using a fuse tap, and we're just going to tap it in to one of the empty slots on the fuse panel here in the fuse box, and that's our power and ground. Obviously this is going to be routed through the steering column and everything like that. I just wanted to show you guys basically how the wires are going to run and where they run to. And so when we have the accessory turned on, we have power to the boost gauge. So I'm going to go ahead and get the wires cleaned up a little bit better and get that mounted in. And then after that, we have our sensors that go to our map and to our wideband. And I'll show you guys how I'm going to route all that. Alright, and so next we're going to go ahead and hook up the map sensor, which is basically the sensor that monitors the boost pressure. So we're going to go ahead and put this vacuum tee right in between this line right here, which is the line that goes on the vacuum for the intake manifold behind the throttle body. So we'll put a tee there, have that run to the sensor, and mount the sensor somewhere here, and have the wiring go into the cabin. So I'll get this mounted up. Okay, so we got that all in place. We got the tee in there and our hoses zip tied, and then we've got the sensor mounted to the firewall. I just reused an existing screw that was used for the siren for the alarm, and then we've got the wiring running through the firewall where the alarm system wiring goes through. So you may not have that on your car, but that's how I got this all wired up. So next we're going to go ahead and hook up the wideband sensor. So for wiring the wideband, there's actually a grommet that we can use that is on the chassis tunnel here. You just got to peel back your carpet and you'll find it, but I'm really surprised it's actually there. That's going to be a really useful spot for our wiring. So we'll get this hooked up here real quick. Alright, so pretty simple. We got the wideband in the test pipe and that going up to the cabin. And on the inside we have the harness conveniently coming through. So that's all good to go. Just need to finish up the rest of the install. Alright, so we got the gauge mounted up and all the wires tucked away behind the plastic. And now we get to enjoy the wideband and boost gauge. Alright, so one of the last things we finally got done here is the boost and wideband gauge. I'm not sure when we're going to be able to do the rear diff mounts, and we're still waiting for our tune to get finalized, but I think the car needs some love. It's really dusty, really dirty, so I think I'm going to get this all cleaned up, and gonna have to get rid of the checklist fender, but I think we got most of it all done. So alright, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll catch you guys later.